Hello everyone, this is Karen.
Hi everybody, I am Shane.
Today we're looking at part 1 of honey, a miracle food and medicine. And the vocabulary words are miracle.
Miracle.
It's a miracle that you didn't get hurt in the car accident.
Thank God. Evidence.
Evidence.
There is no evidence that Joe did anything wrong.
Annually.
Annually.
He makes over $3 million annually.
Moisture.
Moisture.
A plant could die if there's too much moisture in the soil.
Bacteria.
Bacteria.
Worried about getting sick, Joe bought the kind of hand soap that kills bacteria.
Ooh, we're talking about a very sweet topic today.
Oh, you are right. Honey.
Oh, hi. Oh, you mean the topic is honey.
That's right.
you called
Honey,
me
honey,
honey.
honey.
But everybody loves honey, right?
I love honey. I love adding honey in my tea.
I think every culture for thousands and thousands and thousands of years have been using honey to sweeten things or for cooking. Oh.
There's so many different uses for a honey, and it's very, very popular, and it's good for your body.
Yes, and it's very difficult to make, actually, for those poor little bees. Did you know to make just 1 pound of honey,
Okay.
it requires these bees to fly thousands of miles to over 2 million flowers.
2 million flowers
So
to make 1
They
pound
have to
of honey.
get it out of 2 million flowers for 1 pound
Oh
of
my
honey.
gosh, that's a lot of work. It takes a lot of work and a lot of bees.
Yes.
Right? But another interesting story that I heard is that in ancient Egypt, when a couple got married, the husband is supposed to provide honey for the wife. So maybe that's why sometimes we call each other like the spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend. You say, "Hi, honey."
Oh,
Maybe
wow.
that's why.
And honey's very sweet, so it makes sense, right?
That's right.
Okay, let's learn more about this miracle food and medicine called
All right.
honey.
Honey.
Honey, a miracle food and medicine. Honey is popular the world over, whether it is used in cooking or in a good cup of tea. But there's a lot more to the story of honey than most people know. People have been using honey since before recorded history. The earliest evidence is from a cave painting in Spain that dates back 8,000 years, and mentions of honey appear in the earliest writings found in Egypt, India, and the Middle East.
Today's lesson is called Honey, a Miracle Food and Medicine, Part 1. Hello everyone, my name is Jeff.
And I'm Mike. Yes, we are talking about the honey that you're thinking of. That sweet stuff that bees make for us by collecting pollen from flowers. A lot of us don't think of it as a miracle food or a medicine. I think most of us would think of it as something sweet we put on toast or other baked goods. But honey is a miracle food, and it can be used, much to my surprise, as a medicine. We'll be finding out lots about that in part 1 and part 2 of our honey article for this month. But let's look at this word miracle. We often throw the word miracle around when talking about foods and medicines, but at its basic meaning, miracle is just a fantastic event that can't be explained by normal means. We often read of miracles being performed by gods or heroes, right? If someone parts the seas, that would definitely be a miracle. This is the type of thing you might read in a Bible or other holy book. And we can also talk about miracles that are just amazingly surprising. You know, for example, if there's a plane crash and no one gets hurt, people might say that is a miracle. It's also because the pilot did his job, his or her job very well. The people who built the plane built a very solid machine, but it is amazingly surprising. So something that's really surprising and is kind of hard to explain, even if you could, we might call a miracle. For example, it's a miracle that you didn't get hurt in the car accident. Well, if you're wearing your seatbelt, the chances of a miracle happening get better.
Anyways, yeah, in a really good thing that you can't explain.
amazing.
Sometimes people
It's
call
incredible.
sometimes people call those things miracles. Anyways, let's talk about honey though. Apparently, honey is a miracle food. I can't believe it exists. How amazing, how cool. Yeah, honey is popular the world over. It's popular globally, all over the place. And it's popular the world over whether it is used in cooking or in a good cup of tea. But there's a lot more to the story of honey than most people know. So there you go. It's delicious. You can cook with it. You can put it in your tea, but that's not all. There is more to the story of honey than most people know. Now, first of all, get this. People have been using honey since before recorded history, which is interesting because if they were using it before recorded history, how do we know that?
That's a very good question. It kind of means they were using it before people could even write. But yeah, how do we know that? We can't know things that someone didn't write down. Well, let's look. It says the earliest evidence is from a cave painting in Spain that dates back 8,000 years, and mentions of honey appear in the earliest writings found in Egypt, India, and the Middle East. So there you go. That's how we know. We don't need writing because people drew paintings of maybe collecting honey in some way or something like that. And even when writing did come in the earliest writings, some of the first writings that historians have found from Egypt, India, and the Middle East, they also mention honey. It was used as a sweetener long before sugar, wasn't it?
True. That is true. Anyways, yeah. So if its use preceded even recorded history, how did we know that people were still using it? Because we had evidence. Yeah, evidence is proof, okay? If you want to know if something is true or false, find evidence, and you can tell whether that thing is true or false. You can answer a question, so on and so forth. For example, there is no evidence that Joe did anything wrong. So people might have accused him of doing something wrong, but you know what? No one could find any evidence or proof that he did anything wrong. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take a break, but don't go away. We'll be right back after this.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Honey。A miracle food and medicine。好，单字 miracle 它就表示神奇或是不可思议的事，也可以用来指奇迹。那么标题里面用到 miracle food 就是神奇食物 ，miracle medicine 就是神奇药物。好，那我们这2天的课文呢，就是要介绍蜂蜜的神奇功效。麦克老师在开场的时候有说啊，蜜蜂会采食花粉，会酿造蜂蜜。我们就顺便补充一下，花粉的英文是 pollen。Pollen 就是花粉。好，课文一开始说，现在蜂蜜在世界各地都很受欢迎，但其实人类在有历史记载以前就已经有在使用蜂蜜嘞。最早的证据是来自西班牙的一个石洞壁画，它可以追溯到8000年前哦。而最早有文字提到蜂蜜，则是出现在埃及、印度还有中东。我们先来看单字 evidence。Evidence 这个名词它表示证据或是证明。好，文中用到 before recorded history， 它是指在历史记载之前。那刚刚 Jeff 老师谈到说比历史记载还要早，他用到precede 这个字 precede，precede 这个动词它表示发生在什么什么之前，在什么之前，先于什么什么。好，那再补充一下，文中有出现一些国家地区的英文，像 Spain 是西班牙， Egypt 是埃及， India 是印度，那么 the Middle East 就是中东。接回课文中。
Honey, a miracle food and medicine. How honey is produced is amazing in itself. One beehive can make between 30 and 100 pounds of honey annually, but it takes a lot of work and bees. To make a single pound, bees must fly more than 55,000 miles to get nectar from some 2 million flowers.
Honey, everyone. It's delicious, and people have been using it for a really long time. Yes, honey has been used for thousands and thousands of years. People started using honey before they started writing history. Yes, the use of honey preceded history, the recording of history. How amazing.
That's right, honey's been popular a very long time. Now, earlier on I mentioned that we know how honey's made. Bees collect stuff from flowers and then make honey for us, but that's not exactly the scientific explanation of how that all works. So, let's find out how that all works. How honey is produced is amazing in itself. Here we could, of course, say how honey is made is amazing in itself. How do bees make honey? One beehive, that's where
a bee house.
Group of bees will live. One beehive can make between 30 and 100 pounds of honey annually. But it takes a lot of work and bees. Yes, this will be thousands probably of bees working together year round, but that's quite a lot of honey. 30 to 100 pounds, I guess, depending on the health of the beehive, the weather that year, all sorts of things. But imagine, all those bees in one beehive can make up to 100 pounds of honey annually. That is quite incredible. Annually, this adverb simply means occurring every year. If something happens once a year, it happens annually. Most holidays we can think of, Halloween, Chinese New Year, your birthday happens annually. So we can use this adverb for things that take place one time each and every year. For example, he makes over $3 million annually. Wow. Is that US or NT dollars? There's a difference.
Still, that would be a lot of money one way or another. But yeah,
you
bees.
could buy a lot of honey.
Yeah, you could buy a lot of honey. Yeah, bees. Wow. Every year they make around, well, anywhere from 30 to 100 pounds of honey. That's amazing. But yes, it takes a lot to do that, to produce that much honey. Yeah, get this. To make a single pound, bees must fly more than 55,000 miles to get nectar from some 2 million flowers. So yes, they have to fly a lot. 55,000 miles, and yes, they have to somehow reach 2 million flowers to get all of that nectar, all the nectar they need in order to make all of that honey. Whew, that's a lot of work, that's a lot of honey, a lot of miles, and a lot of flowers. Holy moly.
Why don't they just go to the supermarket?
They would still have to make the honey that's in the supermarket. Yeah, it's a problem. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to take another break, but don't go away. We'll be back soon.
同学们可能大概知道蜂蜜是怎么生产的，那我们来听听看一些数据，也许你会觉得非常不可思议哦。首先，一个蜂窝每年可以产出30到100磅的蜂蜜，那这个生产过程很费工，而且需要很多的蜜蜂。要生产1磅的蜂蜜，蜜蜂它们必须飞超过55000英里，然后从大约200万朵花当中来采集花蜜。哇，光是1磅就这么麻烦嘞，难怪蜜蜂整天这样嗡嗡嗡忙个不停。好，那这边有一个单字 annually。Annually， 它是副词，表示每年、一年一度的。那么补充单字 beehive， 它表示蜂窝或者是蜂箱。还有 nectar， 这是指花蜜。介绍课文中
Honey, a miracle food and medicine. One reason people like honey is it never spoils. It has little moisture and contains chemicals that keep bacteria from growing. In fact, it stays fresh long enough that it was once used as a form of currency in Europe. And in ancient Egypt, when a couple got married, it was common practice for a husband to promise to provide his wife with honey.
Okay, honey. It's delicious and it's sweet, and it also kind of lasts forever. Seriously, I'm not kidding here. One reason people like honey is it never spoils. It doesn't go bad, okay? If you put a carton of milk in your refrigerator and you don't drink it all, you just let it sit there, in a couple of weeks, it's going to spoil. It's going to go bad. It's going to smell bad. You won't be able to drink it, or it might make you sick if you do drink it. Honey, though, never spoils.
That's right, it never goes bad. You can buy a jar of honey today and still eat it 10 years in the future. Why is this? It says honey, it has little moisture and contains chemicals that keep bacteria from growing. So there's two good reasons why honey has a very long, what we would call a very long shelf life. You can put it on the shelf in your kitchen cupboard or somewhere, or your fridge, and leave it there for a long time.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, it says here that honey has little moisture. Usually when people talk about moisture, they're talking about dampness or wetness. Basically, honey is made of pure sugar, let's say, and there's not a whole lot of water in there. And apparently, having a lot of moisture might lead something to spoil easily, but that's not the case with honey because it doesn't have much moisture in it, okay? There's not going to be a whole lot of water in there, or if there is water, it might be locked up chemically in a certain way so that the honey won't go bad due to that moisture. Anyways, let's take a look at an example sentence for the noun moisture. A plant could die if there's too much moisture in the soil. Yeah, moisture, by the way, is the noun. Moist is the adjective. If something is moist, it's very wet. It's filled with water, so to speak.
Yeah, and you'll notice in your fridge, moist things, wet things will go bad faster. That's why when we dry things, dried fruit, you can eat that forever or for a very long time because there's no moisture there to make it go bad. So that's one thing that honey doesn't have. And also there are chemicals in honey that fight bacteria. Now, bacteria is basically a tiny living thing. Now, there are good bacteria and there are bad bacteria. Generally, when we use this word, we're talking about the bad bacteria, the stuff that can get in your body and make you sick, the stuff that you wash your hands with soap and hot water to get rid of. But there is good bacteria. There's bacteria, for example, in your stomach that helps you to digest your food and keeps your stomach and your body healthy. But for most people, bacteria, these little tiny organisms, are something we connect with sickness and bad things like that. For example, worried about getting sick, Joe bought the kind of hand soap that kills bacteria. I have news for Joe. Hand soap that kills bacteria and regular hand soap do exactly the same job just as well. I saw a show about it last week. Save your money, Joe. Just buy the normal soap. It does what you want it to do.
Or maybe you can wash your hands with honey. No, don't do that. It would be sticky and it would be a waste of honey. It would be a waste of honey.
I don't want to shake your hand.
But hey, yes, apparently honey does have antibacterial properties. Amazing. Anyways, let's move on. The next sentence says, in fact, it stays fresh long enough that it was once used as a form of currency in Europe. Yes, it stays fresh, it doesn't go bad, and yes, apparently, it stays fresh long enough that people started using honey as money in Europe. How about that? And there's more. And in ancient Egypt, when a couple got married, it was common practice for a husband to promise to provide his wife with honey. Yes, if you marry me, I will make sure you have honey for the rest of your life. Honey. That's a bad, bad joke. But anyways, yes, here in ancient Egypt, this was a custom apparently. A husband would provide his wife with honey when they got married. Yes, I promise to give you honey for the rest of your life.
Honey.
Honey. Yeah.
Money.
I told you, bad joke. Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
There you go. So, very interesting facts about honey that we've learned today. Now, we haven't gotten into the sort of miracle food apart from the fact that honey does never go bad. We'll be learning much more about that tomorrow as we get to better grips with this very amazing substance, honey. I'm a big fan.
Me too. All right, folks, with that, it's time for us to say bye-bye.
为什么蜂蜜会这么受欢迎呢？除了因为它们甜甜的很好吃，还有一个原因就是因为它们不会变质，它的水分含量低，而且含有防止细菌生长的化学物质。那我们这边来看两个单字 ，moisture。Moisture 它是名词，表示水分或是湿气，它是不可数名词。那它的形容词是 moist，moist，moist 表示潮湿的、湿润的。Charles 老师在解释单字时用到 dampness，dampness 它表示湿气、潮湿。那这个字就是由 damp 形容词 damp， 它是形容有湿气的、潮湿的，然后后面加上 ness 变成名词而来。好，下一个单字 bacteria。 bacteria 它表示细菌，这个字呢是 bacterium 的复数形。好，那我们来看一下形容词，则是 bacterial。bacterial 是指细菌的。我们如果在 bacterial 前面加上字首 anti， 好，这个字首表示反或是抗，那把它合在一起。antibacterial 或者是 antibacterial 两种都有人念，这个字就表示抗菌的。好，麦克老师在解释单字时说到，细菌是非常小的生物，这时候老师用到 organism 它表示生物或是有机体，这个字是拼作 organism organism。好，那么以上是今天的讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。大家好，我是 Hanny， 欢迎收看我们的文法单元。今天要介绍的文法重点有2个，第一个是 whether or， 第二个是 since 的不同意思及用法。好，我们先来学 whether 什么什么 or 什么什么。whether 是指无论不管，那么 whether 什么什么 or 什么什么可以用来连接2个或是2个以上的选择，表示不管是怎么样还是怎么样。那它的句型是主词加动词逗号 whether A or B， 也可以写成 whether A or B 逗号主词加动词。这个副词子句 whether A or B 你可以把它摆在主要子句之前或是之后。例如 whether it's hot or cold outside，They always enjoy a walk in the park. 不管外面天气是热的还是冷的，他们总是喜欢在公园里面散散步。好，那最后我们来学 since 的不同意思及用法。第一种是表达自从什么什么，从什么什么以来。好，那么 since 可以当介系词或连接词用，然后之后是要接过去的时间点或是子句。那么主要子句我们可以搭配完成式或是完成进行式。好，来看2个例句哦。I haven't seen her since graduation. 从毕业以来，我就没有见过她了。好，这边 since 后面是接名词 graduation， 那就表示它是一个介系词哦。然后我们前面用 I haven't seen her， 这是现在完成式。好，再看一个例句。Hank has been playing with his phone since he got home from school. Hank 从放学回到家就一直都在玩手机。好，这边看到 since 后面是接子句，所以它是一个连接词。然后我们前面用 has been playing， 这是现在完成进行式。好，再来看 since 的第2种意思是表达因为、既然，后面是要引导表示原因的副词子句。举例来说。Since there is no class tomorrow, let's go to the movies. 既然明天没有课，我们去看电影吧。好，那现在学会这2个意思，我们来出一个题目考考大家哦，看看句子里面 since 是哪一种用法。好，这个题目是 He has wanted to be an actor since he was 5. 句子里面这个 since 是哪一种语义呢？是1自从怎么样，从什么以来，还是2因为既然。我们先看到主要子句，它用 has wanted， 这是现在完成式，在表达说他一直都想要成为演员。好，那你想想看，他是要表达因为他5岁，所以一直都想成为演员吗？当然不是咯。since 在这边是第一种意思，表达自从，从什么以来，所以他是要说他从5岁以来就一直想要成为一名演员。你答对了吗？好，以上是今天重点整理，我们下次见喽，拜拜。
Hello, everybody.
Welcome to English in Action. Hey, what's up, Holly?
Hey, everybody. I'm Shane. Holly, I love doing this show with you.
The feeling is mutual.
Oh,
Not really.
Hey.
OK， 我们今天的主题呢，就是彼此，我们都有相同的感觉，所以呢，我们就先来看一下对话。Thank you for helping me out with the document. You're such a good friend.
The feeling is mutual. Okay, so in the dialogue, it sounds like they're at work, right? Somebody helped somebody with a document. So actually, the feeling is mutual. 就是听起来有点正式
哦，在职场上用的嘛。
Yeah.
OK
好像你没有跟这个人很近。
很近 OK
Yeah, 就是很礼貌的说法。
哦，相同的，是的。
对啊，可是
官腔
其实很适用，其实。
那还有什么方法呢
Same to you.
哦，就跟你一样，你也一样。
Likewise.
哦，你也是。
You'd do the same for me.
啊 ，OK， 所以你也会对我做同样的事，或为我做同样的事
Right?
，Yeah.
So you always do nice things for me.
Yeah. I mean, you do the same for me, right?
Yeah. Not really, huh?
No. Anyway, 我们来复习一下今天的句子哦。The feeling is mutual.
The feeling is mutual.
Same to you.
Same to you.
Likewise,
Likewise.
you do the same for me.
You do the same for me.
Right? OK， 希望呢你们学了这几个例句之后呢，你们的心就越来越善良，然后跟别人也可以多多说这种话。Alright, see you next time. Bye.